So tell me, what does it mean to be reconciled? Having been reconciled.
Oh, we want to do this in the time that we have, right? You know, one of my favorite verses is in 2 Corinthians 5, and there it says that God was in Christ reconciling the world to himself. So earlier on in the show, I mentioned that the human race now no longer reflects the glory of God. We're a blight on his creation. Our whole lives give lie to the character of God, because a fallen universe, the fallen angels, can point to the human race and say, that's the image of God? Ha ha! See what God is really like? And so we are distanced from God. We have wronged him. We have violated his morality. We have turned our backs on him. He wants us back, but that's going to involve reconciliation, bringing us back together. We're incapable of reconciling. It doesn't matter how much good I do now. The entire life I've led so far gives lie to the character of God, and I'm lost.
That's right.
And so it says God was in Christ reconciling the world to himself. He takes on humanity. Jesus lives the only perfect life that has ever been lived. He says, I have kept my Father's commandments in John 15 and abide in his love. And he lives this perfect human life. He lives what Adam should have been. Paul calls him the last Adam. And so you've got Jesus, who actually can put on the altar, so to speak, a perfect human life. And then I wonder, well, how do I qualify for that? You asked me to, this is deep stuff here, but the Bible describes him as the groom and the bride as the church. And we know in the Bible that husband and wife become one. If he's marrying us, he can lay claim to my sins even though they're not his. And he takes the judgment for my broken life on him, and at the same time bestows his perfect life on me. The whole human race is reconciled in Christ, and it says God was in Christ. He does it all. It's all his act, none of mine. I mean, it's for me to accept, but God did it all.
From beginning to end, God.
I don't know. Get me started on that one, on reconciliation. But
no, this is great, and so throwing us back into that Jacob's ladder that we were talking about.
Right. Yeah.
All of a sudden, you have this Jacob's ladder, the promise that there would be a connection, there would be a linking back again between heaven and earth. That which was severed would be linked, and when we look at Jesus' baptism, which of course is told to us that would happen in the book of Daniel. That's for another lesson.
Right. Yeah, Daniel 9. Boy, you just opened a can of worms.
I sure did.
I think it'll come up in these lessons.
I think it'll come up. But when we look at his baptism, that's exactly what happens in his baptism. You have heaven opening up and the dove descending, and here's the Father saying, "This is my beloved Son." And for the first time since Genesis 3, Genesis 1, 2, and 3, you have heaven connecting to earth once again.
It's amazing.
In
the person of Christ. God brings God and humanity back together. Jesus in John 13 says that the Son of Man has been glorified in his life, and that God is glorified because of that. Jesus has reinstated humanity to rightness with God.
That's right. That's right.
It's astonishing, and
it is now.
I think you'll spend all eternity. Yeah.